Hello. Have you ever had an imaginary friend or imaginary pet? Or maybe you've got a real one. We're about to find out more about Iffen. Chapter 6. Iffen did not tolerate closed windows. Louis had already discovered that. There had been a night when he jumped awake at the thud of a heavy blow right by his head. Thwack! A paw. 5 black cat pads pressed imperiously against the glass. A husky yowl. The sound of something threshing backwards and forwards in the ivy. Iffen's tail, lashing with fury. "Wait, wait," begged Louis. The pungent smell of crushed leaves poured in the moment Louis scrabbled open the window. Iffen stalked amongst it, an outraged emperor with a cloak of green scent billowing around him. Every part of him, from his carved golden profile to his blunt black-tipped tail, commanded, "Don't ever do that again." "But," Louis had asked, scrunching up his knees to leave Iffen the best part of the bed, "what if it's raining?" "What if it is?" replied a flicker of muscle in Iffen's shoulder. "Snow?" Iffen looked contemptuously down his nose. "I love you," Louis had offered hopefully, and Iffen, after a moment or two of thinking about this, had allowed his body to fold into warmth at Louis's feet. Ever since, Louis had slept with his window open, hoping that Iffen would come back. On the night of the deep-sea diving and the terrible phone call and the 3 bears, it happened. Louis woke to the smell of green magic filling the room and the lovely warmth comforting his knees. "Iffen," he murmured thankfully, and then as he woke up further, "Iffen, my mum," the warmth increased. "Why does she talk in a happy voice? Why doesn't she be sad, like she wants to come home?" Iffen looked entirely unconcerned. "She likes it there, that's why," said Louis. "She likes it there too much." He kicked in frustration. Iffen turned his head to contemplate him, and his eyes were not friendly. "Sorry," said Louis. The grey-gold head turned away. "There's only Theo now, and he's always busy. Busy at the hospital, busy at home. And he thinks Mrs. Puddock is funny." Louis paused for a long time, thinking about Mrs. Puddock. "Abby likes her," he said, sombrely. Iffen, appearing bored, lowered his head and closed his eyes. Louis, nevertheless, continued his list of grumbles. "Max is cross all the time. There's Esme, but—" Iffen's ears twitched. "She's small. What's the use of that? If there were stabbers or kidnappers, Esme couldn't fight them." Iffen yawned. Clearly not very much disturbed to hear all this. He flexed a pawful of thorny black claws, considered them for a moment, and then slumped onto his side. Louis became quiet, because there was nothing else to say. Presently he scriggled down in bed until he and Iffen were back to back, with the covers between them. "Never go away, Iffen," he murmured, as the knots of tension between his shoulders began to loosen. The clamped coldness in his stomach relaxed, and the stiffness left his curled fingers and elbows and knees. "Never go away, please. Never go away, but—" Louis sat up suddenly, jerking Iffen outrageously. "Don't let anyone see you. I forgot. They said no pets." Then Iffen gave him such a glance, such a deep, long glance, that all Louis's thoughts trembled and scattered and rearranged themselves in new patterns, like a kaleidoscope shaken. Iffen a pet? Iffen was no pet. He was— What was he? Louis's mind rifled his memory for all the words that might describe Iffen. Guest, beast, cat, angel, fear, secret, wildness. A wildness. Yes. When the right word came, Louis settled down again, with Iffen heavy beside him, and this time he slept till morning.